I'm live streaming. Let's see here. Hello. There we go. Here it went. Finally. Now I can get on here and share all this crap on Facebook and fun stuff and everything like that. And post to Facebook. There we go. Okay, so I know it's kind of been a while. Let me make sure that my my stuff on my YouTube, I can actually hear myself going.
There we go. Okay,
Coming
so
live from my son's room.
I know
Yes.
it's kind of been a while. Let me make sure that my my stuff on my YouTube,
No,
can
no,
actually
no,
hear
no.
myself going.
There
we go. Okay,
Coming.
live from my son's room. Yes.
Alright, let me get this chat pulled up here so I can see people coming in, and hopefully people do come in, and because we got a great one today. Now I know that it's been a while since I've loaded up something that's like face to face here. I kind of want to, talk about a couple things that I think is actually an interesting topic. I've seen some other YouTubers in the whole survivalist area actually take on this role and get it going to the point where they talk about false security of survival packs. And I kind of want to put my take on that and also tell you guys that I have also Chris from Prepared Mind 101 came out with a survival challenge of a 10-pound survival pack for cold weather, winter, cold weather, something like that, however you want to put it. And then the pack has to weigh about 10 pounds. And then when the weather gets about 32 degrees or below, that you take your pack and actually do an excursion overnight out in the woods. And I actually have accepted that challenge, and I'm waiting for basically a friend of mine. We're going to get together. We're going to create our own 10-pound survival packs, and we're going to go out and test them. So I'm waiting for him to do the video on that. Hopefully it comes up soon. That's one thing that we'll be doing here soon, and I will also have footage of the overnight that we do there. So getting into that, I have come across something that I never thought that I would see in my local area, and a store called Magic Mart has a little bit of survival slash camping slash hunting kind of stuff, and I mean it's a real small selection. And if any kids are watching this, I don't condone smoking. I don't say, hey, go smoke. I'm a smoker. I like to smoke. I like to dip. I like my tobacco. And yeah, so. But anyway, I get to a point where I like to just go to stores and see what they have. I like to go to different consignment shops or thrift stores or anything of that matter to see if there's any type of kind of survival gear, anything that you can think of, anything from, Harbor Freight, Dunham's, Dick's, and I know I'm putting out some big names there, and I know the places like that are expensive as can be, and it's not a fun thing at all, but I do like to say that there are some cool things out there that you can find pretty cheap, and I'm very, very, very common man going. Like I had to make a change to my pack, and I had the Bear Grylls canteen, and it was fine. It worked just fine and everything like that. But I realized, the canteen itself is plastic, and the cup is a still that you can boil in. But I really didn't like that whole entire orange coating over it, so I got rid of it, and I just basically went out and got myself a small canteen cup, stainless steel, a stainless steel bottle to boil water in, and then I added a plastic, basically, water bottle in there, because once everything's boiled, you let it cool off just a little bit, you can pour it in there, and so it's like you got two bottles, and you can cook in both of the stainless steel stuff. So I mean, I've got a little bit more extra cookware now. Now, when I was going into Magic Mart, I thought, up front, and there's like the registers, and then there's a huge, huge knife case, and it has everything that I thought, around my area would not have. Like, they actually started selling fire cord there, fire paracord there, fire cord, however you want to put it. I have not picked up any yet. I plan to soon because it seems like a pretty cool thing, and I actually want to pick it up and see how it does. Now, I've seen it on here multiple times, but to my surprise, other than, like your old Tomer knives, your Kershaw knives, your Buck, or your Browning knives that basically you can find anywhere at a local store, I came across two knives that have a famous name in the bushcrafting world that everybody talks about. Everybody's has one, even if it be the cheapest one or the most expensive one. They are out there, and it's like every time that you hear a survivalist slash bushcraft slash this, and this, anything that does with survival on YouTube, there is actually these knives that come up. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize ahead of time. My camera's not the best on my laptop and everything. Usually I'm now got myself a new Nikon camera. Oh, this way. And this is what I'll be starting, like, my field work on. But my live streams, for some reason, I can't figure out. It's supposed to be able to plug this thing up and use it actually as a camera through my computer, but I can't get it to work because I'm just not that smart. So bear with me while I use my old laptop here. It still works, and maybe one day when I get rich and famous off of YouTube, yeah, right, I'll be able to get myself a good camera for you guys to see better. But anyway, getting back to it, is I looked in that case and come to find out they carried moras. And these knives are absolutely awesome. I love it, and I've already used both of them a little bit. I kind of got getting like a little childish with them, and I'm gonna go with the cheapest version of it first. This one is the cheapest mora they had, which was $7.99 at Magic Mart that I got it at, and it's, if I'm properly saying this right, this is the Mora 511. And it is beautiful. I love this thing. The Scandi grind to it. It's even got like, a little finger guard there. It's very, very good knife. This thing, I just grabbed a piece of wood, and I mean, just working on it. It just made it paper thin. It was awesome. So like, I guarantee this thing that it's basically like the beginner Mora and everything. But I picked it up anyway because everybody talks about it. I love the knife, and my son is 3 years old now, so he'll probably end up getting this one for his first knife. So, it's that's why I love that little guard that they have there, is because it is just, it's perfect for, like a little kid. I'm not saying that I'll give it to him when he hits 4 next month, but when he's old enough to have a good, fixed blade knife, because these are not full tang, they're rat tail tang, and I think the tang to them come like in the back here, which it might as well almost be full tang, but it's not considered full tang. I think it's considered rat tail tang, and it's a great knife. I love this thing. I got to fool around with it. Like, I just got this today because I saw it out there earlier, and I was like, oh man, I have got to have this knife. So I went ahead and picked it up. Did some feather sticking, stuff like that, which I should have made a video on, but like I said, I was too antsy to get this thing cutting into the wood, because it was just, I just love this knife and everything. Now, like I said, I bought this one today, and I absolutely love it, but they had the other one out there, the Mora Companion MG for military green, or however, whatever. And this one is really nice. This one comes with a little bit of a better sheath, I guess you could put it. This one, on the 511, it doesn't say Mora on it. It doesn't say Mora on the handle. It only says Mora knife, made in Sweden, carbon steel on the blade itself. And this blade is like a polished up blade, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually get that to, but you can kind of see the writing there, and it's not going to show up, but I can promise you it says Mora knives made in Sweden, carbon steel, and that's the only place on this knife and on the sheath that it says Mora is actually on the blade itself. So, it's not fancy. It's just, it's an $8 knife, so you get what you pay for, but still yet the blade it comes sharp. It cuts wood paper thin, everything. Now this one's a little bit different. This one was $10 actually, and what surprised me is when I looked at it, these go from like anywhere from like 15 to maybe 18 to 20 bucks. So like right there in the $15 to $20 range, but I was able to get it for 10 bucks. It was the last one they had, and my cigarette went out. It was the last one they had, and I went ahead and picked it up. Now on the sheath, if I can kind of get that to go in, it does say Mora knife right here, and you can see the sheath is a lot skinnier to the 511. See how it's wider at the top, and the reason why it is wider is because it's got that little hook down here for the guard, and everything. It locks into place good. Now if you give it a good pop, like holding it upside down and do that, it will fall out. So it's not as secure as you think, but it's made to go in your belt and just basically pop it out when you need it and everything. I think that this thing will do absolutely everything you need around the camp, campsite, a little bit of bushcrafting and stuff, except for batoning your wood. I think that actually I'll come back to batoning real quick. Let me get done with this. Like I said, it's got more right here on the actual sheath. It's got like a little thumb place where you can actually, this is kind of awkward, pull it out, and then there's the knife itself. And like I said, it's all shiny, it's all nice. I have used this one. I know it might not look like it, but there's like some marking on it. I already had to, I re-oiled it up and everything like that because I really, really want these blades to last. But as you can see right there on the handle itself, it's a lot bulkier. It's a lot, thicker, and it does have more knife there. And plus, on the knife itself, it says Mora knife made in Sweden, carbon steel. So both of them are a carbon steel and everything. Now, I have not made the modifications to make the spine of the knife a 90 degree. I'll be doing that here soon. But this one, it's it's just a lot thicker on the handle, and it gives you a lot more control. And like I said, the sheath, it kind of, see if I can get that close to my mic. I don't know if you heard that or not, but it pops into place. But like I said, if you give it a good shake like that, it's going to pop out. So my idea is that the belt loop from this one actually comes out and everything. So my idea is to maybe find like go to Walmart and buy some like bicycle inner tubes and cut them to make Ranger bands and put it over top of this and kind of like have it as a good holder, so it doesn't fall out, and you kind of just peel it back and then pop it out, everything. But I don't know. I mean, I've wore this one for a couple days. I bought this one about 2 days ago, and it was the only one there. And like I said, it was 10 bucks, and I love these two knives. I suggest anybody that don't have a Mora, go find them. I mean, heck, even order them offline. They're really cheap. Like I said, the 511 Mora was $8, and this one was 10 bucks. But usually it does go into the $15 to $20 range, which is very common, especially if you're just learning to get into bushcraft. And like I said before, I will be giving the 511 to my son when he gets of age to be able to have that as his first fixed blade knife. I've already had him using some little very, very small pocket knives for him to do that, and that is like one of the things that I think that is good, because I will get him into scouts. I think scouts is a good thing. But coming back to batoning wood here, now this is another thing before we get into survival kits that I want to kind of touch base with. I have seen so many things about don't baton wood with the knife, this, that, and the other. And you guys have probably heard this multiple times. and I mean very, very, very many times, people's like, well, I don't, you know, baton baton wood with my knife because of this, and this. Now, there are knives out there that are huge. Like, take, for instance, one of the most popular knives out there now that just came out on the market, the Jessica X from Charade. And I think that's like SCHF 43, I think is the name of the blade. The Jessica X is the nickname that we all get and have nicknamed it from, Chris from Prepared Mind and everything. And, something like that, a big, huge, heavy knife that's a full tang knife that, basically could be categorized as a machete. You can baton wood with that. Now, am I going to take a big, huge log and use a knife to cut through that? No, 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 no. I've got an axe for a reason. I've got a hatchet for a reason. That's what you do with an axe and a hatchet. You carry that stuff. Now, if you don't have that stuff, yes. Baton if you know that your knife can do it, then do it. Don't try to put it like straight through the middle or anything, but use the tools and use your head. Use common sense to understand that, okay, I've got an axe and there's a pretty big log there. Use your axe. Now, once you get pieces down and you get the log split up, and then you can take your knife and split it up even more. Use the tools that are, everybody's like, well, a knife this, a knife that. No, 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 no. A knife is made for certain things, yes. Am I going to go out here and baton with these? No. No. I'll do very light batoning where, I might have this on there, and if I can use my fist on the knife and bring it down that piece of wood, yes, I'll do that. But will I go out here and get a log that's like this big around and try to put a knife through it? No. No. That's why I have an axe. That's my purpose for an axe. That is the made purpose for the axe. Do that. So, everybody's going to be touchy on that subject, and I'll probably get some, hopefully, some conversation in chat or something, or comments about, well, this is the reason why you shouldn't, blah, 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 and this is why. I'm like, you know what? I live in West Virginia. If I'm going to be going out into the woods, anytime, you're not going to catch me without an axe or a hatchet. I mean, it's just how it is. I don't care if it's summer, fall, winter, spring. No matter what time of the year it is, I'll have an axe with me. And I'll have a Lansky puck to be able to sharpen my axe and hone that axe. So I know I have a sharp axe, and I'm not going to have a dull axe where I can hurt myself even further, because a sharp tool is always a good tool. Yeah, you can still get cut from it, but learn what the hell you're doing first. Now, survival kits. I've done a lot of research, and I've done things to where I could see basically this, that, and the other about, what they include and what they do, and, how they do this, do that. And, the thing with me is that, and I'm sorry I'm looking down. I'm checking my phone because it's going blue like crazy, and it's people messaging me right now, and I guess they're trying to figure out, I guess they're trying to find the stream. And, yeah, like one person commented or liked it. And, yeah, it's like, okay, it's just bothersome to sit there and watch a blinking blue light. I just can't stand it. I'm weird about stuff like that. People's asking me like, oh, what's the stream name? And I'm like, I shared it on Facebook. Go to Facebook and click the link. So anyway, so I took into consideration about, looking at some other people's videos on basically false security of survival kits. And I took it upon myself to make a couple nights where I just basically look up certain survival kits and try to find as many survival kits as I can and see exactly what they're about. No, this time change is killing me. So, so basically, my thing is I can't help but to notice, like, okay, you know as well as I do, you gotta see the Bear Grylls stuff out there. And his stuff is all, it's Bear Grylls and blah, 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 Gerber. And I'll be honest with you, both of his little survival kits, one for 20 and one for 60, you guys might as well just take them out in the middle of the road and burn your money. It's not worth it. For 60 bucks, I can go out here and buy myself a decent knife and all the other little stuff that comes in there very, very easily. It's easier to make your own survival kit than it is to go out here and buy one and just put it in your pocket and think you're safe. You know, people go out here all the time and they're very new to like hiking and stuff like that. And they'll go into Walmart and be like, okay, well, let's get a couple things for hiking. So they'll get maybe a backpack to put some stuff in for like snacks and stuff like that. You know, they'll go out and do that. And it's like, okay, well, that's all well and good. But, you know, hold on, I might lose you guys. I'm trying to plug something up. I just unplugged. There we go, I think. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So, when you're looking at some of these survival packs out here, a lot of people want to go and say, oh, it's got this in it, it's got that in it. Yes, I have bought some of them, and over time, I just realized that, wow, that was a waste of money. And when I believe it's a waste of money, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of a big deal because it's like, you know, I don't have the money to spare really. It's like every time I buy something, I want it to work for me. I want it to be nice, and I want it to be able to be to the point where I don't regret spending money on it. Now, yeah, I could have probably saw a whole bunch of reviews and stuff like that, but even looking up reviews on YouTube and looking at them, you're not going to be able to figure out exactly if you like it or not. I mean, you see somebody else messing with it, but it's kind of like, okay, well, that's all well and good, but I kind of want to get it myself. You know, I just want to be able to get that going to the point where, you know, okay, it's nice, but I should have never spent my money on it. And by the time that it was, you know, over and done and everything like that, it's kind of like, okay, well, you know, spent my money, didn't get what I wanted, and now I regret it. And you can't really take it back because Walmart's sketchy about stuff anymore. It's like, you know, you could buy something one day, and then the very next day you try to take it back to, like, either return it or exchange it for something. And it's like almost like the DMV. You have to have your license, birth certificate, receipt, proof of citizenship in the United States that you was born here. You got to, you know, you became a citizen. So I mean, there's so much stuff that you have to do within getting that kind of stuff going that it's just ridiculous. It really, really is. Like I said, this time change is killing me. So basically, you know, I don't think it's a smart idea for anybody to walk out here, go, I'm going to go camping, or I'm going to go hiking, and I'm going to go out here and I'm going to buy a survival kit, and I'll be fine. It's like, I'm sorry, but you cannot buy one of these survival kits that's pre-made in these stores. I don't care if it's, you know, Bear Grylls, Les Stroud, or some Colgans, or, you know, this, that, or the other. It's ridiculous. You don't just buy something like that, put it in your pocket, and go out here thinking that you have the complete confidence in the world. You don't go out here thinking, oh, well, I'm going to go out here and I'm fine because I've got this little survival kit that's about yay big, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff in it. That's not how it is. You know, yeah, it might have some things that you can survive on. You might have like a little bit of fishing tackle. You might have a, you know, emergency blanket that you could possibly make into a, you know, as a lean-to, and, you know, try to, you know, get that going. You got a flint striker in there to where you can actually, make yourself, a nice little fire. But do you have a good sized knife to process that firewood? Do you have a knife to be able to collect yourself tinder if you need to? Make yourself the tinder that you need to be able to take that spark, to be able to go from that spark to a small fire, to build up and keep building it up until you actually have a huge fire to where you can actually stay warm at night, either it be, summer, fall, winter, spring. No, because the two Bear Grylls kits that I've seen, well, one's got a little folding knife about maybe yay big, and the other one's got a little multi-tool. I think it's like the Gerber clutch. Still a very small blade. It's not going to get the job done. You go out here and buy something like that, yeah, it might have fishing kit, it might have a sewing kit in case you rip your clothes, but who really cares if you're out there surviving? So my thing is this. Why in the world would you buy something like that when you can purposely and sensibly and use common sense and go out here and get yourself a kit together by yourself? Okay, it might be more than a little bit more than 20. I'm going to go off that one. I'm going to go off the Bear Grylls $20 kit. And it comes with like a little folding knife. It comes with a ferro rod. Let's see, some matches, a little bit of rope, some snare wire, and a whistle. I think that's what it is right there. Well, automatically, from what I'm thinking, if you walk into Walmart's like camping, well, hiking / camping / survival area, you can get yourself a nice good emergency tent for $5. You can get yourself a thing of paracord rope for like $3 or $4. They've got some full tang knives there for like $10. Might not be the best knife in the world, but hell, it'll work. You can get, basically when you get the paracord, you got your snare wire, so boom, there's that. It's not really wire, it's, inner strands from that, but it will still do the job. Yeah, basically, you can go out here and get yourself a survival kit that's better than the Bear Grylls one for maybe $30. I'm gonna estimate it $30. Take the $20 that you would buy the Bear Grylls kit and add another $10 to it, and you can get yourself a decent kit that you can actually have stuff to survive with. It's ridiculous. And it's crazy. And I just can't seem to see somebody walk in and go, I'm going to go hiking. And then just kind of look around, and then it's like, oh, there's a survival kit from Bear Grylls. Or there's a survival kit from this place. Or this company, or that company. And just be like, okay, I'm going to buy it, put it in my pocket, I'm good to go. I would love to be that little fly on the wall, so to speak, for if that person actually did get lost. I hope they don't get lost. That's the point. Don't screw up. Oh, I'm sorry for the yawning, guys. This time change has got me like completely just and it's just difficult to get used to right now because I've had so much stuff going on. But I would just love to be that person. It's kind of like that little fly that buzzes around them if they do get lost, and they have only got that little Bear Grylls kit, and I'm thinking, yeah, no, come on, you cannot do that. 10, now, like, the challenge that I accepted and everything, and I still got to get that stuff going, and I promise you guys, I will get those videos to you, and I will be taking you guys along on the overnight excursion, or the trek, or however you want to put it, I'll be doing that, and I'll be filming it and everything, and it's gonna be fun. I mean, I can't wait to do it. But a 10-pound survival pack. Be honest with you, that's a lot of gear. It really is, because the rules of it is this: you got your 10-pound limit, and within the 10-pound limit, you're carrying, your bag or whatever you keep all your stuff in. That's included in the weight. But what's not included is your everyday carry. And the thing about me is, my everyday carry, I've always got a Leatherman Wave strapped on my hip. I've always got some type of knife, either actually here recently has been the two moras. These don't weigh much at all. Basically, if, say, I could sit here and be like, which one weighs more? Which one weighs more? I would say the 511 actually weighs more. I could put this on my belt and put this in the pack, because of the rule of 1 is none and 2 is 1. And that way I have these, because I'm sorry, but I'm not going to need a big full tank knife. Where I'm going and everything like that, that I know where it's at, there's a lot of logs already there. They've been cut down a long time ago. Not by myself. I didn't prepare the area. I've been up there on a four-wheeler, and that is actually how I'm going to be getting there, is a four-wheeler. I'll be getting up there and dropped off, and I'm hoping that I have a couple people with me coming, because I think it would be cool to have more than just me up there. I mean, yeah, you have the survival instincts of, okay, if you go by yourself, you got the loneliness and everything like that. But what I'm hoping is that I can get some friends of mine to actually join along in that, make their own 10-pound kit. We all set up, we all film, and then, I put, edit the video, and it's going to be a long video. It really is. It's probably going to be, the way I might do it is, I know that I get cell service on that area up there, so I'll either be, if I take my actual camera, I'll have to wait until I get back home, edit it out and everything like that, or I can take my phone, which has a decent video on that as well, and I can take a little bit of a time, which I might go ahead and do like some little videos at a time and post those up to my channel, and then like when I get back, edit my big video and get all that put together, fixed up, and then it might be 30 minutes to an hour long, which is not actually abnormal for my channel, because my channel has had so many things on there, and as you can see that I took a lot of stuff off. I wasn't very happy with some of the stuff that was on there. There was a lot more different kind of things, so I went ahead and deleted those videos and kept up some of the new stuff, and I want to just kind of continue going newer and newer and newer, and I'm hoping that I can get that going, and I'll be doing some redos, I guess you could say, of older videos that I had. Now, some of the stuff that was in my older videos I don't have anymore. I had gotten rid of, because I basically woken up and said, hey, this thing's a piece of crap, I just need to get rid of it. I still have, some gear, as in, big survivalist names like Les Stroud, Bear Grylls, stuff like that. Cody Lundeen, Dave Canterbury. I do have, stuff that have their names basically on it, or, they're affiliated with it. So that stuff will be coming, and then it will just be like random thoughts of, like, what in the world can we do, and, this, and me trying to get your guys' opinions on things, and then we actually make a discussion, because with my channel is, yeah, it's not a big YouTube channel right now, but I hope for it to be at least a decent size to where we can actually get on here, have a discussion. I would love to get Skype calls going to where we have, like 4 boxes up, or more, and we're all talking, and we're all live on YouTube, and we're having a big discussion. Hopefully, that's what I plan to get. That's what I plan to go with my channel. Now, me being a father and having responsibilities of taking my son back and forth to school and everything, it does delay some of my stuff that I have to do. I mean, we all have a life and we all have to take time out of that to do our hobbies or whatever, and this is what I consider this to be, as a hobby. Now, getting back into survival packs, my idea is I've got completely different ideas in my head for my survival pack. I have not complete my 10-pound pack yet. I've started on it, and I know what I'm going to be wearing into the woods, because the weather has to be at 32 degrees or below that for us to actually do this overnight. And I'm hoping that it kind of comes a little bit soon, because I would love, the perfect thing for me is I would love for it to hit that degree of weather and like no snow on the ground. It's just that cold, but there's like no snow, so I don't have to worry about that. I mean, if there's snow, there's snow. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, but I definitely want to be able to get something like that going on to where I can do that. And I think people, so with me, I would love for you guys to leave in the comments some ideas. Now, like the normal stuff, like, oh, you got to carry a knife, you got to carry this. I already know that stuff. Tarps, to make, I got an all-weather tarp that will be put up as a lean-to, and then I'll have some clear plastic, and basically, if I want to transform it into a super shelter, to where that heat comes in and like heats it like a greenhouse and just burns you up in there. Yeah, I can do that kind of stuff, and that's probably what I'll be carrying and stuff like that. Now, I'm talking about like unique ideas, like things that not the normal person would think of. I almost want to take the challenge and kind of be like, okay, I know what to take, but I'm going to just leave it up to people to help me decide, as in like, okay, see, I'm not a big person of matches. I really don't care for matches at all. It is going to be cold weather, so I do want to go in fire heavy. So maybe somebody be like, okay, instead of taking your ferro rod or something that's very, very purposeful, and can start a fire like that, maybe take matches. Give me the thing that I hate the most. Be like, take matches in there, and I'll be like, I hate that person. They actually, no. But yeah, I would. If somebody requested me like, oh, take a box of matches or whatever like that, I would do it, just because, it'd be different. That's why I'm taking the moras. I'm definitely taking the 2 moras into the woods with me, because I want to test them even further. I've tested all my other knives, and they're great. They're wonderful. Yippee. I haven't really tested the moras out that much. I mean, I basically, did some feather sticking. I did some, small bushcrafting, like notches and, stuff like that, to be able to kind of just get a feel for the knife. But as in actually testing it out and doing every single little thing with it, no, I haven't done that yet. And I can't wait to do it, because this thing, with me, it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out in the woods and get this thing going, because it's just it's going to be so much fun. It really is. And I can't wait to get some, friends together to be like, hey, we're actually going to be, doing this and everything. And I hope that I can get some people put together, because, I do want to take at least like a safety precaution, which, I mean, like the reason I'll be like going on a 4-wheeler up in there is basically to be able to carry some more gear. Now, I'll be doing the 10-pound survival pack at first and everything, but I'm going to be taking, like an actual like good winter tent and everything with me, for the fact that there is such thing as what Chris had talked about in his video about a tap out plan, basically a tap out pack, and I want a safety net there just in case, like, just something freakishly crazy happens. I want there's something on my screen. Here we go. I want to be able to have like a safety net, and that will be like, somebody that's there to be able to be like, if it gets too cold and we can't get warm or anything like that, it'd be to the point where I can be like, okay, well, there's a tent, it's got a heater in it, let's go in there and get warm, or this, that, or that. I mean, I want the challenge to be fun. I want to do the challenge. I'm going to do everything like that, but also safety's first. It's not like we are going out here and it's like we're going to purposely get lost in the woods. No, we're doing this as a challenge, and there's nothing, wrong with having a safety net just there in case. I mean, if you're going to willingly do something, why risk, you know, your life at something when you know that you could put safety precautions there to make sure everybody's okay just in case. Now, that being said, I do hope that anybody that watches this will like, share, all that crap that everybody wants to drill into your head. Like, oh, if you like it, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, share this with your friends and everything like that. Yeah, it's helpful. Gets you a lot more attention on here. Gets a lot more people looking at your videos and everything. I'd at least like to see my subscriptions go up to about 100, so that way I could do a free giveaway. And it's going to be limited. I'm not going to be able to do it like overseas or anything like that. I'm just a common man. I don't have the money for something like that. I could, I want to be shipping it to, just here in the U.S. And that includes like Hawaii and Alaska. So I mean, it's going to be, just here. And I don't know exactly what the prize will be yet, but I mean, I'll do like the whole random generator and just look through it and make sure everything is good to go. I want to do fun stuff like that to kind of keep people interested. But sorry if like the video is all sketchy and stuff. Ever since not Facebook, ever since YouTube decided to do their own live streaming kind of thing, it's been weird. I had to download what's this thing called? I can't even remember what it's called. It doesn't even say what it's called. Oh, XSplit Broadcaster, to be able to even live stream, when it used to be just hook up my headphones, hit live, pop it on there. It would go through Google Hangout and it would like pop up those two windows. Now it's like this might be a little bit better. I don't know. It's kind of going to be weird to get used to, and I hope that it kind of just it might turn out better, and that's all well and good, but hopefully this is actually pretty good. I'm hoping. I know the picture's fuzzy because of the webcam. It's an older laptop, but hey, it still gets me on here and everything like that. And you got to deal with what you got. So there's that. But hopefully it's still good. Still good. Still stronger. So there's that. And I'm trying to think if there's really anything else to talk about. I mean, I do have some different type of gear, and I mean, maybe I can pop something out real quick. Oh, there's camera. So maybe see if that's in there. Oh, yeah, here. Okay, when I was telling you about like me getting rid of my canteen and going with just like a couple things and getting a stainless steel cup, that's what I got. Just just a regular cup. I mean, nothing fancy. I mean, it just folds in. It's a cup. And no, I have not used this yet. I haven't had the chance to use it, but coming up I should. Probably what I'll use for my 10-pound survival pack, just because it's condensed and I can actually wear it on my side. I'll be stripping this thing down, taking everything out of this, and using this thigh pack as my 10-pound survival kit, which it's probably around like, heck, I might not have to add anything to it. I think this thing's about maybe 4 to 5 pounds, maybe. I mean, it's still got some weight to it, but I mean, like, now this is a Bear Grylls item. It is a Fire Striker, and this is actually a really good one to get. So I'll be taking that one. This one, I'll probably be giving this one up because I got a new one. And actually, I should have grabbed that. It's a new Camillus knife sharpener. It's actually really cool. It's like scissors, fish hook, and stuff. Maybe I'll do a its own review on that sharpener because I don't think I have any reviews on any type of sharpening system yet. Even the videos that I deleted, I don't think that I've had anything as in, oh, this knife sharpener is this, and this. I don't think I've done any of that. So that might be a good next video. The only Bear Grylls knife I have anymore that's folding is still the folding sheath knife, which I had a review on that, and I mean, it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a knife, and it's something that I've had and everything like that, and everything. So hopefully, but yeah, that's this pack right here is what I'm going to be using to put my 10-pound pack in, and then I'll be doing that. Oh, okay, I got something here for you before I end the video and figure out if this actually saved to the computer and to get everything going. Oh yeah, okay, here you go. Copenhagen wintergreen and a camo. Yep, good shit. Good shit right there. So, not too long ago at a local pawn shop, I came across like a very, very nice little knife, and its purpose is, basically I would just guess like a skinning knife, or you could probably gut with it, but most likely a skinning knife or just a whittling knife or something. But I came across a Browning knife, and it's not too bad. Handle's really comfortable. This is actually a full tang knife, and so it's very small. It's very nice and everything, and like I said, it's all shiny. So, but it's a very, very nice knife. I need to clean it up a little bit. Actually, it's got a little bit of scuff on it. But it's really nice. I mean, I like it. Very nice and compact. It's, basically like almost like, I guess you could say an everyday carry type knife, just for small things. I mean, like I said, it's a small knife and everything, so I mean, it's not too bad. But I was able to pick it up for like, oh, what did I pay for it? I think I paid like $4 for it. I mean, it came out of a pawn shop, so I was able to talk them down a little bit. And like I said before in videos, I talk a lot of people down. Like, if I go out somewhere and I see something I like, it's kind of like, yeah, that's not worth the money that you guys are asking for it. So I'm kind of like, yeah, let's start, negotiating prices, because I just don't pay full price for stuff like that. Like, I've even negotiated with Walmart's managers going like, hey, this is your last product. It's got some problems with it. Give me like 10% off, or at least, something. But that's just me, so. But anyway, I think that I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, just to kind of get an idea of this whole entire broadcast thing. Double check to make sure that the video is saved, and it actually will go up on YouTube and keep the video going. So don't forget to do all that crazy stuff that like, share, and comment and everything like that. I don't have any little catchy phrases for that. My catchy phrase is, the question to ask yourself is are you paranoid, or are you paranoid enough? So with that being said, I'm going to try to end this broadcast and figure out exactly how to do it, and it's not working out so well. Like, I'm not exactly sure how to end the broadcast.